In March 2026, a drone strike hit the port of Duqm on the edge of Oman's Arabian Sea coast, not inside the Persian Gulf, not near the Strait of Hormuz. Oman was increasingly positioned as a potential alternative route around the Chokepoint, a place where energy and trade could reach the open ocean without passing through Hormuz. For years, Oman had been building billions of dollars of industrial and logistics infrastructure at Duqm and elsewhere along its Arabian Sea coast. Then, the war reached the very infrastructure that was supposed to give Oman more options. So the real question isn't whether Oman can bypass the Strait of Hormuz. It's whether infrastructure can ever fully protect a country from a war next door.
To see why that matters, start with the geography. The Strait of Hormuz is barely 21 miles wide at its narrowest point. In normal conditions, roughly a fifth of the world's petroleum liquids consumption passes through it every day. Since February 2026, when war broke out involving Iran, Israel, and the United States, those ordinary conditions ended. Iranian attacks have hit vessels in and around the strait. The United States has also blockaded traffic entering and leaving Iranian ports. And by August, traffic through Hormuz had fallen to just a handful of vessels on some days, a fraction of the pre-war norm. For the first time in decades, the world's most important oil choke point has actually been choked.
Oman started preparing for a moment like this years before the war began. At Duqm, on Oman's Arabian Sea coast, the country built a refinery designed for 230,000 barrels a day, a crude storage system at Ras Markaz with a planned capacity of up to 200 million barrels, and a deep-water commercial port designed for large vessels. The broader Duqm and Sazad ecosystem represents billions of dollars in committed investment, with the figure exceeding $30 billion across the zone's development and industrial projects. Oman is also part of the Gulf Railway, a regional network now roughly halfway complete and targeted for full operation by December 2030, future infrastructure that can strengthen overland connectivity around the Gulf. None of these assets depends on physically passing through the Strait of Hormuz. That optionality was always part of the strategic logic.
But this war has tested that strategy in a way no infrastructure plan could fully prevent. Iranian attacks have hit Omani facilities, including Duqm, while vessels have also come under attack in Omani waters. Oman even had to evacuate one of its own oil terminals. But that does not mean the strategy failed. Tankers have still been able to load crude west of the strait and use ship-to-ship transfers in the Gulf of Oman, exactly the kind of geographic flexibility that makes Oman's Arabian Sea position valuable. The lesson is more complicated. Infrastructure can reduce exposure to a choke point without eliminating exposure to the war around it. It changes the odds. It doesn't erase the risk. Whenever this war ends, the Strait of Hormuz will still be 21 miles wide, and it will still sit next to Iran. That fact hasn't changed in decades, and it won't change now. What has changed is that the world has watched that choke point become severely constrained and watched Oman's alternative infrastructure get tested in real time, strikes and all. The next question is simple. Once shippers, insurers, and oil majors have seen an alternative operate under pressure, do they ever fully go back to depending on Hormuz alone? Global power is constantly shifting. Stay informed, stay curious, and we'll see you in the next analysis.